Hi everyone, how you doing? Is all right. Welcome to Newcastle Fans TV spin-off. We're going to be talking, well, just a little bit about the channel. I wanted just to get you, I guess, just a bit of feedback off you, really, just to see what you think of the channel, what we can do, improve as well. And I thought I'll get you on, and obviously for the rerun of this video as well, because we are live. I thought, we'll have a look at putting the online chat onto the screen as well. As you can see, no, it's over here. Where is it? I don't even know where it is, where I'm pointing to, that way. So we're just going to be talking about the channel, what it was like, and I'll run you through our future plans and things like that. I'm just trying to get it back on my phone so I can have a look. There we go, and get the online chat open. So there we go. So I've been having to play around with a new system. As you probably see, there's an online chat on screen as well, which, to be honest with you, I'm not very clued up on, things like graphics and stuff. So I just learned on the job. But first of all, we'll talk about quickly about the website. Then we'll talk about the Facebook, Twitter, and then we'll talk about the presenters as well. All four of us as well in the backroom team. As well, I can only hear you. I'm not sure what you mean, Kevin. So if I just turn this up as well, I can hear it's perfectly fine. The sound, I've just turned it up on my mobile there. Right, so we'll talk about it a little bit. So let's talk about the website. Now, the website at the moment, just to give you a rough idea, I've just paid 150 quid out of my own pocket. So to have that license and the actual, the URL is newcastlefanstv.com. I've got no advert on it at all. And I was just thinking to myself, okay, because we're now actually classed as a company, yeah, we are actually a company, Newcastle Fans TV. We're sitting as dormant at the moment, so basically what that means at the present moment, we're not trading, we're not getting any profit at the moment, but that is soon to change in April. So what I'm thinking of doing very shortly is placing some adverts on the website just to get some money back into it. I mean, we're not in it for the money before anyone really sees anything, and we're doing it for the love of just being Newcastle fans, but we'll need to upgrade our equipment more and more, and that's the reason why. So we're looking at putting adverts into there. The Facebook page at the moment is soon to hit, the business page is soon to hit 5,000 followers on Facebook. That should hit it in the next 2 weeks. At the moment we have 4 admins. One of them is myself. We've got Paul, we've got Kyle and Mark as well. Now, I want to get those more involved in the brand as well, because we know that Kyle has recently come onto fan cams, Mark's just recently come onto fan cams. Hopefully we can get Paul on, and the Facebook page is doing really well at the moment. At the minute the news is a little bit quiet because there's not much happening with the club at the minute with news, so I would like to get those guys more involved in front of the camera as well, maybe doing their own podcasts as well, like an admin's Facebook page podcast as well. Obviously we're going to be talking about the audience, use a lot of the subscribers shortly as well, and what you want and stuff. But that's my initial idea for those guys. Paul's doing a lot of work on the Facebook page. He hammers it. Hasn't been as much lately because there's not much news. And then what I'd normally tend to do later on at night, I sort of pick up the news that has been left, like the ones that they may have missed in videos and stuff like that. And then the other two do. Kel normally does like a review or a preview or a debate, whereas Mark chips in articles here and there. So I think the Facebook page is going really well. I don't think that needs to change. At the moment, Twitter just used to be me who runs Twitter, but now we'll also have another poll. There's 3 polls amongst Newcastle Fan TV, so we'll have another poll, and his son helps out as well, which helps run Twitter as well. So at the moment, that's going all right, because with our Twitter page at the moment, we want to keep that, whereas Facebook's more like news and banter, I want to keep Twitter more like just news, so it's like a source where you can go and get your information from Newcastle United, and that's updated literally every day as well. And then, the likes of Snapchat, we're at the start of the season, we had this idea of doing like a Snapchat directors where the fans take over, but to be honest with you, I mean, if you haven't got us on Snapchat, as is Newcastle Fans TV, it didn't really kick off, to be fair. It wasn't pulling in many views. I know David had a couple of goes at that, and the Snapchat takeover thing didn't really kick off, to be fair with you. Instagram's doing all right, that's got over 1,000 followers as well. That's gaining probably on average 2 a day, every 2 days with Instagram. So the social media things are okay on Newcastle Fan TV. Could be improved as well. We may possibly look at having another Facebook admin as well, and ideally we would like someone who knows the channel, like a subscriber, who knows it inside out, maybe just to help a little bit more, another opinion, maybe have 5 as well. So that's what I would like to do. Now at the moment, newcastlefanstv.com had its rebrand about, because Paul Henderson helps us with that. That was done, was about 6 months ago, where Paul had a newly out. Now, obviously, I want to place adverts on there to try and get a little bit of money back, because I'm putting this money in, not getting nothing back from it. And it's got better. You know, we've got Rob Spiegel, who does a lot of, you know, articles on our website as well, and he gets quite a bit of shares on Facebook in particular. I think on average, his shares, his articles, which are a great read, they're between 20 to 25 shares on each article, which is good, and that's just Facebook alone, not Twitter, not Pinterest, not LinkedIn, none of that as well. So he does well. We've also got Felix, who does his match report. He's quite young, you know, he's only 14, I think, who does articles. So if you are wanting to write for Newcastle Fans TV, give us a shout, you know, message her on Facebook page, and one of us will pick it up. So we're looking for more writers as well. Ideally, want to push the website a little bit more on. I'm not going to go down the route of paying for exclusive videos or anything like that. I know a couple of other fan channels do that, but I'm not that person. I don't want you paying to watch us. I think that's wrong. I know you've got websites, not websites, fan channels who have Patreon and so on. We've never really gone down that route because we want to try and keep it free for use. Not really charge, because I don't see the point. You know what it is, we're fans. We don't want to charge you for watching another fan's opinion. I think that's, for me, I don't want to say that. But you know, if someone wants to donate money to help get better equipment, well, that's absolutely fantastic. We'll obviously over the moon with that. And the presenters, we'll talk about the presenters now. So my Alexa's just turned on the floor there. So at the moment, as you probably know, I'm the main presenter.
Sorry, I didn't find floor light.
Shut up, Alexa. Shut up. I don't know why it's just come on there. Right, what was I saying? Right, so the presenters at the moment. So at the moment, I do feel a little bit of a burden because I'm just putting out a lot of videos, and I do like it, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I get sick of seeing myself doing all the videos as well, if that makes sense. So at the current situation, we've got 4 presenters on Newcastle Fans TV. So obviously there's me, there's Alicia, there's Sharky, and Will. They're the ones who get on camera. So ideally what I'm looking to do is help the presenters out. So ideally I'd like the Facebook admins to come on camera a little bit more. And the other what I'm also looking at as well is everybody who know on fan cams and people who are who do videos as well, to get them a bit like, do you know how Robbie does it on Arsenal Fan TV, where he doesn't have them as presenters, but he has like Troops on for a podcast or DT on a podcast, things like that. That's what I would like to do with the fan cams, to get them a little bit more involved and a little bit more in with us as well. Not so much presenting, but just having an opinion, maybe coming to a podcast as well. Rob Spiegel actually come to a podcast, and the podcast went tits up, and didn't really record, and was horrible on it. And I think it's just to try and get them more involved, because they're friends of the channel, and I would like to give something back to them as well, to be more involved in talking about Newcastle. Now, if you don't come to fan comms, why don't you come? Why don't you come along and just chat on camera? It's pretty simple. Or if you want to do a video with us and you're over at the age of 18, you want to do a video, you know, by all means as well. I know James Fernie. Do you, Ben? I'll do a quick couple of shout outs. So Ben asks you, Shea Underwood, you want to help? Yeah, I like the Snapchat takeover. It was a good idea, don't get me wrong, the Snapchat takeover, but it just didn't kick on, and I'm disappointed that didn't. So that was a pretty much failure. Nathan Carrick, hiya, you alright? Kevin Stainthorpe, hiya, you alright? So what was I saying? So the presenters then. So at the moment, the situation is we've pushed Sharky to get over 1,000, which I'm absolutely delighted about. I haven't actually heard from any of the presenters in the last few days, because I've been stuck at Sky for the last 4 days, and I've been pretty worn out, and probably the right time for Newcastle not to play is a good thing for me, because when it's a match day, I've got to put out 11, 12 videos, and it's really strenuous on me, because I'm up until 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'm getting up sometimes. Sometimes I got a day off, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I'm getting up the next day to go and bang out another 11-hour shift at Sky, and it is a little bit difficult when it's just me who, I guess, knows the ropes of editing. I would like one of the 4 presenters to do that, but they're not. So how can I describe this? The ship is driven by the captain, and if you lose the captain, the ship goes down. That's one of the, is that an expression? Someone will probably fix that. But if I was to walk away from Newcastle Fans TV, there wouldn't be a Newcastle Fans TV. That's what I mean. So, but if Will was to walk away from Newcastle Fans TV, or Alicia or Sharky, there would still be me who'd be driving that forward, you know. Ideally, I would like to see them drive this channel on a little bit more. So instead of me having to go to ask them for a video, which I hate doing that. It's a passion that I can't stand. I would like it if one of those will actually do a video on their own and just send it to me. Now, fair credit to Will. Will, although you don't see him as much, he's at uni a lot, and you'll see him in very fast bursts of spells like that, and then you just not see him for a couple of months, which I can get because he's at uni. He's in a different city. He's in Manchester, well, Salford, Manchester. But he'll just randomly send me a video, and that's all I wanted. That's all I want from presenter. So with Alicia and the Sharky, I have to ask for them for a video. Now Sharky has stepped up his plate massively in the last probably 2 or 3 months, you know, and it's only fair that we drove traffic back to his channel for him helping us, because it works both ways. So Sharky was coming on out of his own time straight after the game, doing fan cams, presenting himself, and I was really proud, you would say. And now that sounds stupid, but because when he first started back in April, I remember him, he was having that conversation with me. We're waiting outside the players, we're done with fan cams, waiting outside the players, and Sharky was like, I want to do YouTube. And since Sharky's kicked on, you know, I've like said, well, you should use this system, you need to improve your thumbnails, you need to have better lighting, you need better sound. So I've like guided Sharky, and he's kind of like a prodigy, but he's gone on to get over that 1,000 mark, and now he doesn't really need to ask as much because he knows what he's doing. Now, we haven't seen Alicia much, which I would like to see a lot more. I know she's got a lot on with a new job and so on, but we've all got jobs, and it's how much you really want to do it. So ideally for me, I would like to see Alicia do 1 or 2 videos just on her own without me having to ask him. That's my dream, I guess. Same as Sharky. So Sharky, if you are watching, just send us a video, anything you like, and obviously we'll all get group videos and stuff. And then what I'm trying to do is push the channel on a little bit more, and we'll come up to ideas and what you have in the comments as well in a second, what we can move it forward. But ideally, I would like to see more of the presenters on this channel rather than just me having to push it. I know I'm the mainstay and I'm the one who should be doing that, and maybe I am asking sometimes a little bit too much from them, but I'm not going to be asking them for a video again. Now that might come across as quite negative. It's not. I'm not chasing anybody for a video. So if you don't see the guys on camera, that's the reason why they haven't done a video. If they've got an idea, anything like that, that's fine, not a problem. I can even jump in with that as well. But I just don't want to come across as naggy and nagging them to do a video. Come on, we need a video. Come on. So at the moment, how it works is if we're planning to do fan cams, or if we're planning to do a video in the future, what we'll do is we'll message each other and arrange times and stuff like that. That's kind of how it kind of works. Whereas Will just sends one, as simple as that. Or if Will's not involved, that's fair enough, because Will's an absolute nightmare to get a hold of. You've got to message Will in about 5 days in advance as well, which is crackers because he doesn't check his social media or anything. Right, well, let's have a quick look at what everyone is saying. I'll do the player rating, says Shay. I love your videos, the quality, thank you very much, Shay. Owen, hi, you alright, Owen? So, yeah, Owen, you alright? So, ideally, we're coming towards the end of the season, and at the moment, I need another presenter. That's not being derogatory towards the other 3, because ideally, I would like to keep them, but if they were to go, I know this is going to sound a little bit negative, but it wouldn't be a massive hit on Newcastle Fans TV because they're not on as much. Now, if we were to have a 5th presenter come in, so how I would like to see the channel go is kind of similar to West Ham Fan TV. Now, West Ham Fan TV have about five presenters, and the main 2 are Nikki and Dan, and the others just chip in. So ideally, I would like someone to be kind of like the second in charge or the assistant. Now that could be Sharky, it could be Alicia, it could be Will, but I would like one of those to step up a little bit. Or I'm going to have to maybe look at getting a 5th presenter just to help out a little bit more to widen the range up. And ideally, I would love to do what West Ham Fan TV do. That is my aim, where they can sit around, have a pint, and just talk football. I would just love to do that. Or even here in the studio as well. But because of commitments at the moment for everybody, it's a little bit difficult of what they can and they can't do. So whether they arrange it, I would love that to happen and then they take control. Now, at the moment, Will's basic editing skills on his phone at the moment, and they're okay for his videos. I don't really know what Alicia's editing skills are like, to be honest, because we haven't seen an edited video. Sharky uses I use 3 systems, but the main one I push Sharky use is a system called VideoPad, and he's gone on and knows how to work that, and you'll still learn, and to be honest with you, I've used it for 2 years and I'm still learning. And I use iMovie, I use OBS, I use ones on my phone as well. I don't use Adobe Premiere or none of the big ones, is because they're too complicated for me and I'm not tech minded. But the good things about the presenters at the moment, I think we've got a good crack. We can get on, we're having a bit of a laugh. I mean, off camera, we're taking the mickey out of each other as well. So Sharky's really good on camera. He's come on leaps and bounds. And even Alicia, to be fair, when Alicia started off, hello, how are you doing? She was really, really nervous and quiet. And then, you know, I think she works so much better as a group rather than an individual, because when she works with another person next to her, what happens is you see Alicia bounce off that person. And I think the 2 of them, whoever it is on camera, I think that's the way probably going forward for Alicia. She's come on leaps and bounds. And I think because we've got a girl on the channel, I think that helps whatever channel she's going to be on, because it's a girl talking football. That will, without a shadow of doubt, and she knows this, and I've said this to her, it'll bring a different kind of audience. So at the minute, so how it works is we get messages on social media, and Alicia does as well, about being a girl, she's good looking, that kind of stuff, right? And then what that does, that brings a different kind of audience. Now that you could say that is a tactic by us, but you know, it's just, well, you know how Chelsea Fans TV have got like Sophie, this model, and all that sort of stuff, and that brings a totally different kind of audience. Well, having a girl on does that as well. Now, I'm not saying Alicia's like Sophie or Sophie's like Alicia in terms of looks-wise or opinions on football. I'm digging a hole here, aren't I? But having a girl on is a total different perspective of having Will on, who's quite young, Alicia's quite young, Shorty's in his mid-20s, and I'm like 30, you know, 31 now. So she's come on leaps and bounds, and I think she has a real, if she put her mind to it, even on her own channel and this channel as well, she could really, really go far, because of the fact she's a female, will jump her ahead of a lot of people already, and that's just the way it is. The old saying is, and if you're in a pop video or in a video, sex sells, and that's the way it is. That's the way in any life. Women sell better than men, because us men, click on women. Simple as that. So I think she has a lot of going. She's quite knowledgeable as well about football. You know, we talk a lot of camera as well, and she's quite clued up on a lot of things that she does say as well. But ideally, I would like to see her more. Will, very confident camera. He's been on Arsenal Fan TV. He's been on Full Time Devils way before Newcastle Fans TV. You know, he works in media. He's studying in media. He knows how it works. You know, I can just go to Will. He has a microphone, present. Will can just go and do it. I don't have to tell him what to say. I don't have to do that. He can just do it. And that's what I like about him. Sharky, like I said, massive achievement, well done. If you watch a Sharky for getting over 1,000, he's helped the channel out big time. Not as much lately, because we haven't really seen. I haven't seen Sharky for ages. But overall, probably from October to January, that time, with 3 months, Sharky's really helped, and I think it's only fair that he's pushed on his own channel. I think with Sharky as well, you've got the little batch of Newcastle YouTubers that have gone over 1,000. So at the moment, you've got ourselves, you've got Sharky, Rubenstein, and Binksy, the young'un. I think are they the only 4 that have got over 1,000 at the moment. So there is room to grow as well for those as well. It just depends on what your audience of your target is. And our target is, if we look at your analytics, you can see in the YouTube analytics now. I'm probably talking double Dutch to you all, but if you click on the analytics, it tells you what your age is, and our age is between 25 to 35, and that's what we want to target. That kind of bracket, that's us as well. We've obviously got younger people, of course. We've got older people, but the big ones are in between that bracket. Whereas I think if you're doing things like FIFA videos, you're targeting a younger age, a bracket down, so you're targeting probably 10 to 20, whereas we'll not touch YouTube because it's not our audience. We want to keep our audience the way it is. We know our audience is successful, so we'll continue doing that as well. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not wrong if you want to do FIFA videos and so on. If that works for your audience, you've got to know your audience, that will work for you. If that's pulling in the views, keep doing it because your audience like it. Whereas if I started doing FIFA videos, I would lose a lot of mine because they're a lot older. You know, I've only got a small amount in between like 10 and 20. The rest are a little bit older as well. Right, we'll have a couple of the look at them comments that are on screen as well. I'd want you to do something behind the scenes for you, possibly sending you in player ratings. Shay, I know. Shay, if I'll give you a shout out, Shay. Shay, who's in the comments, you can see him. I'm pointing the other way, aren't I? Is it that way? There he is. Shay. He sends us, and he must be the most in-depth player ratings comment back ever. So when we do the player ratings, which we've only really introduced this season, you do your whatever, Martin DeBruff, 889, whatever, Dwight Gale this, Shelby this, whatever. But then he goes into the full depth of each player, and then the managers, and then everything. It's like 3 paragraphs. So Shay, well done on that. What was I going to say? So presenting wise, yeah, the 4 are okay, but I would like to see them a little bit more and possibly send their own videos. If they don't, that's not the end of the world. At the moment, I am driving the ship, so to speak. And the 5th presenter probably will look at what we're going to do is with the presenters and the Facebook guys as well, and Paul who runs the website and Paul who runs the Twitter, is just ask everybody how you're feeling as well, because from April I'm going to be employed and self-employed at the same time, which I'm dreading the tax man. So I don't know how it's going to work as well with those guys, because do we start paying a wage if it kicks off? Do we not? Because at the moment it's all voluntary, including myself. So we'll sit down and see how everybody feels. You know, we'll sit down with Sharky, Alicia, Will, and say, how do you feel about the channel? Do you want to be on board next year? Do you want to leave? Because if you want to leave, we could bring somebody else in and all that kind of stuff. Same as the Facebook admins as well. Ideally, I would like Paul to have a little bit more help. That's nothing against Mark and Jay. It's Paul does a lot of work on our Facebook page. I'd like to help him out a little bit as well. I mean, I help out later on, but during the day as well. I don't want a page just sitting there, because of technically classed as a media brand, you know, so we want it to be updated often. In the pipeline, we'll talk about that. So in the pipeline at the moment, I'll try not to say too much because I've got to be careful what I say. So obviously you know that we promote BetSafe, and we tried to try to get Sharky involved in it. He declined the offer. And to be honest, I worked my socks off to try and get Shark on that. And that was just basically earning a tiny little bit of money back on bets and stuff, if you know, like Newcastle were to play X, Y, and Z. So I had to go back to them and say he doesn't want it. And I looked kind of stupid in one sense. So I think I'm not going to promote the other smaller channels just in case that happens again. Now, as he knows, we are part of Ball Street. And there is plans, and I can't really say too much at the moment. We'll probably do some work. Because at the moment how it works is we've got a group chat with all Ball Street channels. So we have a WhatsApp group chat with like Redmen TV, West Ham Fan TV, The Ugly Inside. Who else is on there? Toffee TV. We've got all the fan channels all in WhatsApp. We talk about things that's going to happen with Ball Street and our individual channels as well. You know, the time that the True Geordie dismissed us. Well, we're talking about that in the WhatsApp for a bit, and I was ranting. I wasn't very happy about it, but. We're just thinking of ideas for that, and I think we're going to be doing some for the World Cup as well. Can't really say too much, but we're looking to do some work for Ball Street as well. And then, you know, as you know, we've had a lot of Ball Street, and you know, we had Full Time Devils on as well. Their channel's coming on our channel as well, and it makes it a little bit more easier to get a collab with those guys because we're in the same network too. But there is work coming. A sponsorship deal is potentially in the pipeline, and it's pretty big for us. I can't obviously say too much, but it's there. We just need to get on board on it now, and it's probably going to be judging now for the next season, and that will help now get some money in. And you know what it is? I won't be living on that as a wage. I'm not using YouTube as a wage because Sky actually pay me really well, and I've been at Sky for 8 years, and I'm having another pay increase coming shortly as well. So that's, you know, I get paid pretty well, and I get paid decent enough. And for me, if I leave Sky to go to YouTube, YouTube has to have some serious money coming in. At the moment, it's nowhere near that. So what we do instead is we invest back. So how I would like it to do, ideally, I was talking about the presenters earlier on. So what we would do, if the presenters help us out, as in me, I'll help them back out. So what I'd mean by that, if they were to help us out a lot more, we'd start investing back in them for equipment from this potential sponsorship deal that comes in. So we're talking about mics, possibly camera, maybe a green screen for them. Just little things like that will help those individual channels out because they're helping us out. We'll feed off each other. And I think all Newcastle channels, all of them, should actually help feed off each other and help each other. Now, the other day I was getting bombarded with messages saying, oh, Sharky's got the Magpie channel involved and vice versa and things like that. And I was like, I don't care. Sharky asked me this a couple of months back, and I was like, if you want to make it, you can do. If people see that as a rival, I mean, for example, Rubenstein's not a rival. He's been on the channel actually at the Tottenham. Binksy, he's a younger lad. He's a kid. Mags HD is another YouTuber. The Magpie channel is another. None of these are rivals. If they see us as a rival, that's their problem, not ours. We don't see any of them with rivals. We will work with any Newcastle channel and collaborations. But if you start being a dick about it and start, we've got 12.4k subs. We could just put your picture on screen and be a knobhead if we wanted it to. You know what I mean? But we wouldn't do that. And I think you've got to get on. You're all Newcastle supporters. And I think, if we're open to collaborate with anybody. Now, so as I was saying, the future of Newcastle, so Fans TV, so ideally get some web ads on the website. Get the presenters more involved as well. That's what I'd like to them to send their own videos. I think how that works outside the ground, I think that's much better from all of us. So because we used to just do a match day experience and fan cams and that was it, but now we do the player ratings there, we do the quick thoughts. What else do we do? Anything that breaks there as well. We've got the fan cams. So I think that what we do straight after a game is really good. I like it. I like what Alicia brings. I like what Sharky brings and Will when he's there as well. So I don't want that change. I want those guys still coming to those fan cams. I don't want that change. And, I had to do fan cams on my own against Manchester United, and that was fine. I could do it on my own. I grabbed Anthony McCullough from... full-time Devils, I can't get my words out now, and he popped on ours, and that was really good. So keep the way that is. I think other changes, maybe previews. So this leaves me on to fan cams nicely. So what I would like to do with the likes of Johnny, Fordy, who was on last night for the live quiz. How did you find the quiz? Let us know. Did you like it? We've got Chris who's sending in his own vlogs as well. Someone different on the channel from Australia, which was really, really good. And, who else is there? James Fernie, Rob Spirel. Rob even writes for the website and he comes out to fan cams too. So these people who are friends of the channel, I want to bring them more in now. That's what I'm looking to do. Get them on previews, maybe review as well. And just opens up instead of seeing me all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you like to see me. That's why you subscribe. Don't get me wrong. And the guests and what we bring and all of that kind of stuff. But to be honest with you, I'm sick of just seeing me all the time because it's about yous. It's a fan channel at the end of the day. So this is why I've got this second channel to talk to you and see what you're saying in online chat and see what you message us on. Because we get inundated on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. And I must receive up to 20 messages per day, every day, asking about something. Reporters just messages before. So I've got a reporter I meet on Friday and little things like that. So what I'm thinking of doing is the live phoning. Remember that when I'd done that last week? I think that went down really well. The pilot, obviously, I've learned how to do graphics and stuff like that on a live stream. So we might get yous involved. So if you want to be involved in a phone-in, I think it's before the Tottenham game, we've got up to 2 to 3 weeks off again. So I'll probably get a couple of phone-in shows in that week as well, and maybe do another quiz again, maybe get one of the actual subscribers involved if you are confident on front of camera as well. Ideally, like someone over 18, but if you are under 18, that's fine. So that's what I'd like to do, and then in the summer, we will be covering England. Ideally, I would like, again, all the presenters to be involved in this as well. Even if you don't even support Newcastle, if you want to jump on and get amongst England. So what we've done 2 years ago for people who've been subscribed for a long time on the main channel is I covered every single game in Euro 2016, and that was really, really tough because it wasn't just one video, it was 3 videos per night and things like that, and it killed us. It really did. It tired me out, and this is like a job. It is, but I'm not getting paid for it, if that makes sense, because the amount of hours I put in is ridiculous. It's like 6-7 hours per day, every day. I don't get a day off. It's very rare. So ideally cover England, get not dressed up, like England flag and your face paint and go to the pubs and your vuvuzelas, remember South Africa and things like that. So to show a good and show previews, reviews, and just things like that for England over the summer, because obviously Newcastle news is going to be quiet. Of course, we'll still report on Newcastle if there's something like a transfer or something like that. Of course, we're not going to leave Newcastle out. But that's what I want in the short to medium term. And then people asking me about subscriber count, and I'm not bothered anymore. Once I hit 10,000, that was it for me. That was the big milestone. That's all I ever wanted. Once I got over 1,000, then it was 3. Then it was 5, and once I got a 5, it was 10. Can we get a 10,000? Now we're on 12.4 thousand, and we've picked up just the last 28 days 457 subscribers in just 28 days. The last 28 days, because the consistency's there, and we are growing. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow, just depending on who likes the content, I guess, and who finds it. And we do a podcast as well on iTunes once a month. They're quite lengthy. They go down really well. We're doing a couple of one-off podcasts with Rob from Manchester. So he's been on a couple of times as well, the controversial one. So maybe we'll do more of them, put them on iTunes and SoundCloud, so you can listen to them as well. There is something coming shortly. Obviously, I've talked about summer. We are starting to open up an online shop as well. So what that is, it's in the pipeline. We have Amazon involved in this. We've got eBay involved in it. We've been accepted for that. We've got a distributor, thanks to the Redmen guys. They've sent us as well. So we have a contributor. So it's just little things like Newcastle scarves and Newcastle shirts with a logo on, Newcastle Fans TV, things like that, and on the back. We're not just going to have Newcastle Fans TV. And what we'll be doing with that money is, again, just investing back. Obviously I've turned one of the living rooms, because I've got a 3-bedroom here. One of them living rooms into the studio. Is ideally in the long term is have a studio somewhere else completely, where all 3 or 4 of us can just go randomly. A bit like the Toffee TV and Redmen TV, they share the same building, even though they're rivals. They share the same building. Ideally, I'd like that somewhere else, even if it's a little garage or a little warehouse somewhere. So I'd like that, So we're open online shop. The money's going to be invested straight back. It's not enough to live on. It's not enough for me to quit Sky. So we'll probably get the troll saying he's doing it for the money. But at the end of the day, I get paid shitloads off Sky, and I can actually say that on record. Thanks to Sky, I get paid a lot of money, and I can only thank them because they reward us with the hard work. So having money is just a nice little thing, which we'll invest back in to the website and improving that, and maybe getting someone, maybe the first ever staff, because I'm not paying myself. Maybe if I have to get a video guy or whatever, maybe that's what I have to do. Channels around the area as well. Finally, we'll touch upon that. And any of you who have stayed with us to the beginning of this video, appreciate that. Or you're watching the rerun of this. And we'll fire some Q&As at the end if you want to fire some Q&As. We have been friends with Borough Fan TV for quite a while now. And Tom, who owns joint owns Borough Fan TV, because they're actually a company themselves as well. I've actually got to email him back. So the plans, I'm going to be meeting up with Borough Fan TV this week to discuss the next developments as well. We don't have a Sunderland channel. Well, we do, but he's a dafty. A fans channel, that is. Because we had the idea of doing like a northeast thing, where it's Sunderland, Newcastle, Sunderland, Middlesbrough, kick it off, and then have the likes of Hartlepool and Blythe and Darlington, Gateshead, any of them fans, if we can get one, great. That was the idea, but it looks like the Sunderland one hasn't really kicked off, and it's kind of left in the lurch. So I'll be meeting up with them to see what we can do, maybe get them on our channel, have a northeast thing, what Middlesbrough fans think of Newcastle and vice versa, and things like that. So I've been down their studios before. I've been down there, the end of November, December. So we're meeting up again, and hopefully I'm meeting this week as well, because I'm off work for a bit now, for 8 days as well. So all in all, things are steadily going all right. We do get withdrawals, of course, we get them as well, but the way we look at that as well, the way I look at it is I'm not affected by it anymore. Don't get me wrong, when we first used to get them, I was, but don't care. How I see it now is it's free advertisement. As simple as that. If they want to talk about Newcastle Fans TV, and the bigger the actual, whoever it is, the bigger the brand or the Twitter followers or whoever it is or whatever the troll is, they're promoting us, but they don't know us because they're sending traffic our way. It's estimated that out of the 12.4 thousand subs, I would probably say, and this is hand on heart, probably up to 800 of them have been by trolls sent our way and subscribed with us and seen us that we're not dickheads. You know, we're just general football fans who love to talk about the tune. And yes, you're going to get your idiots because we're going to be classed as the same as like Arsenal Fan TV. But if you look at us, Robbie is absolutely fantastic what he does, and you've obviously seen Hector Bellerin come out lately and say that, but only do it when it's bad. And I thought that was disrespectful by Hector Bellerin massively. And you know, we don't have characters on our group. You know, Arsenal Fan TV do, and they're huge, and they've fed off that, and rightly so. You know, DT's got his own channel, Claude's even got his own channel, you know, and Troops as well. So, you know, it's kind of like ours where our opinion isn't, because they go off it, whereas our fans don't, and they also do a lot of good things as well, fan channels as well, and they get a lot of stick probably for the wrong reason, I feel, because for us, we see ourselves quite take a step back and analyse it, then look at the game, calm, go onto camera instead of wait, you know. So don't get me wrong, I used to be that. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be hypocritical, because I used to be that before it was like it was Laylola HD, and I used to watch a match and go straight onto camera and fucking this, fucking that, and I was, if you look back at the very early videos, and we could go and delete them if we wanted to, but no, they're there for a reason. That's where we came from, and that's where we built ourselves up into now, and hopefully get you more involved. If you have any ideas, please let us know in this. I keep pointing the wrong way, don't I? Let us know in that chat. What would you like to see more of? What would you like to see us improve? Do you have any new ideas? Anything can help us, and I'll write it down and take it to one side and have a look at it for us. I'll have a look at your actually online chat as well. I know it's on screen, but I've got two screens in front of us. I know, so I've got my phone to look at instead then. Right, okay, so Jay Colton says, Lee, how are you? Yeah, fantastic. The quiz was really good. Thank you very much, Shay. I'm still here. Yeah, I'll fire Q&As. Yeah, I've been out, just got in. See you doing this. Yeah, Kieran. Well, Kieran, you can always rewind it and go from the beginning because you can see the online chat. Lee, you're doing a great job. Thank you, Jonathan. So that's practically it, unless you've got any Q&As or if you want to tell us what we can improve on. Now, the reason why I'm doing it on this channel, you know, this channel doesn't get as many views as the big one. Of course not, because I like to come across here and use this as like behind the scenes, and you know, what can talk to you a little bit more, because I can't really do this type of video on the main one, because the main one is all for football. And what we're also looking at, before I forgot to mention, this is another charity event. We've done the Bradley Larry one, but I would like to, this time, for you who want to get involved in this one, which will be in the summer when the weather's nice, is biking. So what we're thinking is, obviously we'll get all the local media involved and the press and all of that. What we're thinking of doing is, if we bike from, we'll go down to Middlesbrough, maybe get the train down on all our bikes, and then we'll go to each ground on the way up until Newcastle. And then we can say we've been to all the grounds and we'll raise money, we'll stop on the way up and everything like that. So that's something that I would like to do in the summer and get you involved in that, because, you know, we had about 20-25 do the Bradley Lowry walk, but this time we'd probably look at doing some biking as well, which is absolutely fantastic to raise money. And probably I would like either out of two charities, the Newcastle United Foundation charity or little Frankie Sherwood, for me, God rest his soul. Because we've done it for Bradley Larry, I'd like to do it for one of those two. I think that'd be nice for that as well. Okay, let's have a look before we before I guess I finish up as well. Does this look okay? Because I can't see this on. Obviously, I'll see it once the live videos come back. Does that look all right? Is that in picture? Let us know, because obviously I can't see the live feed. Right. Okay. So what's made you change from Laylola HD to NUFC Fans TV? That was by Shay. I think it's because I wanted to be a fans channel. I didn't want to come up, because I used to get called the fake Geordie 2 and all this, and the true Geordie number 2 and all that. And I didn't like that at all, because a fan doesn't always criticise. And I'm not having to go Brian or anything like this, but a fan does not come on camera and rant all the time and be negative. You've got to look at it and then analyse it. And I wanted to bring more and more people back, because yes, I think it was about 4,000 subs when we changed it in Newcastle Fans TV. And I wanted to get more and more people involved, helping me out, helping this grow and get like subscribers. And I tell you what, I am and I know that they rely on us as our international fans. They really rely on Newcastle Fans TV. And the likes of Australia, America, and Canada in particular, because we've looked at our analytics, after UK, those are the next 3 countries that watch us. And they heavily rely on us providing them news, which I guess is a responsibility from us because we've done that ourselves, but it's also like an acknowledgement that they'll come to us. And that makes us actually feel pretty proud, you know. It really, really does. It makes us actually, I don't know how it is for obviously people in the UK, don't get me wrong, but that makes me feel like, wow, these people are coming to me to rely on news for Newcastle United, especially in the international ones. And that's pretty mad, that's pretty unique. Okay then, so you like the quiz, thank you very much, Kieran. That was it. I just wanted to have a chat with you as well. So in a nutshell, things are going to be happening with online shop. The sponsorship's coming shortly. Ideally, like the presenters a little bit more involved. Maybe we'll look at a 5th one. Get more of the fan cams a lot involved as well. Maybe doing some previews, pre-reviews, podcasts as well. Get you involved if you've got any ideas as well. If you're watching the rerun of this, comment down there below. We're open to suggestions as well. Let us know as well. But that has been it. Thank you for joining this. Well, I guess it's about an hour, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. 40 minutes, to tell a lie. 41 minutes stream. Thanks for watching. Enjoy yourselves. See you later. Bye-bye.